I'm not going to colour this because the Feeble are not a colourful bunch. And so, when you start on the spiritual journey, and you start to read stuff from the Bible, from philosophy, from all the other teachers that ever came from humanity, and you learn about healing others. Yeah. You start to wonder about healing others. How can you help others? Is it possible to heal other people? Okay. Have I been given the power to heal the feeble? Yeah, the feeble. Right. So this was a question that struck my mind in the early years of my enlightenment. I'd probably been going about 2 years when this particular question came up. Okay, and I'll tell you the situation. I was helping John McDonnell. He was a master, philosopher and prophet. That's what he was. And he had written a play called The Golden Age is Coming. As you'll see, Trump announced the Golden Age is here just the other day. It's just a coincidence, yeah. Just a coincidence, that's all it is. And so, I was going round to John's place quite regularly. John had a library of books there with all sorts of books like Clothed with the Sun and the OASP and many of the books that I would need to study that are hard to find. Yeah, he collected these in his life. He had a library. Yeah. And so I would go to his house regularly and I'd borrow his books and I'd take back the ones that I'd finished and I'd help him with his play, and he'd make soup, and I'd eat the soup together with him, and I don't know whether it was his lady or not. He never really said so. He used to sleep upstairs and she used to sleep downstairs, and I slept at their place a couple of times, and I slept upstairs with him, not in his bed, the spare bed. There's only 2 rooms in the house. And so I was a good friend of John, and there was this lady, the lady in the house, okay. I can't remember her name for some reason. I can't remember her. It might have been the devil. She was a very lovely lady, very lovely lady. She seemed feeble. She seemed feeble, yeah, and she seemed like she needed help to come out of herself, yeah, like she had a demon inside of her or something like that was stopping her from being like John and I, yeah, or something like that. And so I thought, can I help the feeble? You know, like that man that Jesus helped who wanted to go in the water, you know, who couldn't get into the water because everybody else got in before him, all that stuff. Can I help this lady? And so I knew that you could cast out demons because I'd already done that. Okay. My wife used to get demons, and she'd come home and she'd have a demon. She'd just be going crazy, saying all this mad stuff. And one day I just said to her, "Get out of her, you demon!" And suddenly went, boom. And she just became normal. So I knew I had this power. I didn't go around doing this. It's not what I did. Yeah, I just did it once with her, and I left her alone after that. Yeah, but I knew that the word of God has power. Yeah, and so I can remember doing something with this John McDonnell's lady, and casting out a demon. I think I don't know exactly. I can't even remember what it was I did with her. It was it wasn't me doing it. It was coming from the angelic realms. Yeah, what I was doing, I just did it. Yeah, because you need to do stuff to learn stuff. Yeah, you need to do stuff to learn what not to do. Yeah, what not to do. And so I said some words to her and led her through a process, and bang, she just came to life, man. I've never seen anything like it. And she was just normal, yeah. But this was a but. She was just like, it's like you take an anchor out of her pockets and throw them all away, chains off her, and she was like going mad. She was just doing stuff around the house, moving stuff, just going crazy, yeah. What you think is crazy. You couldn't live with it. You couldn't live with it. And so I watched this, I thought, my God, this is very interesting. This is who she really is. I made her who she really is. I know what I said to her. I said to her, now, listen to me, Iris. And I said, listen to me, Iris. I said, now, say these words after me, Iris. I said, I am that I am. And so she said that, I said, I am that I am. I am that I am. And I led her through this process saying this, I am that I am, over and over again. And this broke her free out of it, because I'd been shown how to use this on myself, to get myself into higher states, ready for the I am that I am to incarnate in me, you know. So this is what it was all about, really. But so I'd learned this, and I practiced it on her, and she wasn't up to it. She wasn't meant to have it, yeah, because what you learn is everything's perfect and happening automatically. But if you find yourself doing this, well, you should end up in a better reality afterwards. Yet what had happened was we'd done this process and we ended up in a worse reality. But I wasn't going to shut her down. I wasn't going to shut her down because, you know, who am I to question the world, the perfection of the world? And so she went running around doing all this stuff out of control, you know. And well, you can't live with this. It's crazy. And then John said, so, Irish, boom, she was back where she was, started from. Oh my God. I didn't say anything to John. I didn't say to John, don't do that. I didn't. I just watched and I observed and I learned in this lesson. I said, yeah. You can't help people. You can't help them. When God's ready, God will help everybody who needs to be helped. Okay. The feeble are feeble for a reason. Yet, if you find yourself doing it and a wonderful result happens, do it. Do those things. But if you find that you made a mistake, accept that the world has put, the devil has put the other devil in its place. You released it, but now it's back in chains, okay? Let well alone. So you can't help the feeble in that way. How you can help the feeble is, I'll tell you a story. I might have told it before. I think I did. But the other week I was down at where I pick up my books. I was just picking my books up, and just by chance an old lady walked out of a doorway into the street where I was, and she could hardly walk. She was like completely incapable. And she was with an old guy, her partner, who was also completely incapable of helping her, really. It was like the incapable, it was like the feeble helping the feeble. I thought, no, I cannot stand and watch this, okay. And so I said to the lady, can I help you? And I put my arm out, and she got hold of my arm, and it was obvious that she knew how to use an arm, because she obviously needed to be helped all the time, and she didn't say no, yeah. She kind of knew that I was a sturdier platform, than her fellow, yeah. And so I helped her, and their car was just directly across the road, like 20 yards away. And it took us like all of 10 or 15 minutes to get across that road, and the cars had to stop. And like, she was just like excruciatingly slow. She must have been in pain, excruciatingly slowly, one foot after the other, not falling over. And then I saw a wheelchair in the back of the car and everything, and virtually had to lift her into the seat. It was crazy. And so I said to them, I told the two of them where I lived, and I said, if you ever need any help, just come and knock on the door, yeah. And I left it at that. And that's how you help the feeble, not the other way, okay? I hope you learned something from this. I did. I learned something. All right, now we're going to pick the next card, all right? You noticed last time when I got the "Thy will be done" card, I didn't do this zooming in, so there's a sign too that was a special card that was coming out. Okay, now the next card we're going to do, I already picked it, but the video sort of broke down for some reason. I pressed the button at the wrong time. So our next card is the Library of Avalon. And if you want to get the video for this card, you could subscribe to my channel and you'll get it in your feed. Library of Avalon is in Glastonbury, but this card is a symbol of all libraries, like the Library of Avalon.